And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
Doesn't make any sense.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Pour, a football Friday. Tony, back from the cafe. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Back from the cafe. Well caffeinated, dude. But yeah, stoked. Big Friday, week 16. Obviously, we're talking some Rangers. I'll be happy to get to the bottom of things. And also stoked, to hear from our fans, too. Because I don't know, man, between getting all the news from the Rangers organization and the Jets organization yesterday, and obviously, not being on the sports board too, it's just like, oh my God, dude. Like I was getting pretty tight.
You know what you need in your life?
What?
Take a guess.
Sports board?
Well, yes, Tony, but I'm talking about. I feel like you should know this one. You can't give me one guess here. I mean, think about it. Something that's talked about a lot by a certain someone.
What, like a Connor McDavid trade? What?
No,
what do we got? Well,
yes,
dude.
But I was talking about the Yukon Huskies. I think that's what you need. Michael Butka is on it. And he also is in the comments as well, talking about a Dan Hurley share of his Instagram story. Michael, good job there, bud.
Very nice, dude. He says, hey, boys, huge shout out to my man, Dan Hurley. That guy shared my story on Instagram, and I flipped out, dude. That is kind of cool, dude. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. Yeah, he texted me and Matt on the side about this.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. So Michael Bucket loves the group chats, like the separate sectors and naming the chats.
Yes, dude. He's a social guy, social butterfly.
Very social. That's for sure. And then what did you think of, Kev Dew, the early text about letting him know when the picks are ready? I mean, a little nonsense story, a little gimmicky, do you think?
I don't know if I would go that far, Brian, but it was literally, I mean, I guess I get it. Kev Dew, he's trying to take a little more charge with the picks, turn the season around for them. But obviously, I guess maybe he wasn't, Josh B was throwing the picks. We didn't really know how it works. Where normally it's just like, hey, dude, like, we pick, then you pick, and the next week you pick, then we pick, and then that's just it.
That's true. That's true.
So it is what it is, dude. I mean, you just got to play the game here. I mean, again, I understand it's a struggling year. You want to just do something, jumpstart something.
But, I mean, isn't it? Oh, no, God.
No, I'm saying to him.
Then he goes, what's the gimmick? I worked during this time. Kev, you always find a way.
I figured that.
The dramatization. Yeah. Come on. And I just actually wanted to go back just to see. So there's 9 picks left, okay? And we're up by if they have 22 wins and we have 6, but then they have 1 tie, does that mean it's 5.5 or is it 6.5 games that they're down?
6.5.
6.5. So
so they can't.
No, we have to go what 2 and 7, and then they have to go 9 and 0.
9-0, yeah.
But it's like, come on, does Kev actually think they're gonna do that?
I mean,
last year,
give
bro.
him a chance,
last
dude.
year, bro. You see last year, bro.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, no, it is actually quite hilarious, Tony. But
it's a little cold in here, Brian.
A little bit. Yeah, this is the first time ever that I've worn a coat on the show, but you know what? It is better than like when we're sweating, we're hungry.
I'm a little hungry, dude.
I actually feel pretty good. I've switched things around. The protein.
The breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, just going protein bar, but then having something for lunch.
Okay.
And actually yesterday, and what I've done too, because getting the full sandwich, which again for me, I was like, why would you get nothing more than the full grinder? At Gaetano's, I've been getting the club roll instead of the full grinder. So it's like the perfect thing to have during the day. Yeah. And I think you basically have as much like stuff on it. It's just you don't have all the bread. So that's been working out well. So I've been mixing that in or doing no chips or doing the pistachios. I had really good ones the other day. It was sea salt and vinegar. I don't know if you've ever had those.
No,
Unshelled.
Dude. Oh,
Really
really,
good.
dude?
Yeah, so I love stuff like that, or like barbecue pistachios.
I've never had a flavor of pistachio. I love pistachios, honestly.
Yeah. Matthew has always been big on
Yeah,
the
the
pistachios, dude.
I could literally eat 1,000 of those, dude.
And then one thing too that I've actually had for dinner last 2 nights, and usually that's unlike me. You know, I like mixing it up, but I had mentioned this place to you before. I don't think you've had it, but in Stanford, it's called Lucky's.
Never.
It's known for the burgers. But it's a like a diner too, so they have everything. So last 2 nights I've gotten the chicken vegetable rice soup.
Oh, nice.
And the Greek salad with grilled chicken, and it comes with a little pita bread. Perfect, like so good quality.
Nice, dude.
And you know what I mean. It doesn't feel heavy. Plus, I have to say I love soup, but I haven't been having enough of it recently.
No, I agree
I
with
can
that,
have
dude.
soup every day.
Soup is great. Mike made, I guess Mike brought in some soup his mom made. It was like this meatball soup. It's fucking delicious.
I wonder what type of soup that was.
I mean, it almost kind of like,
Italian wedding or no?
no, yeah, that's what I would compare it to. But it was an Italian wedding. It was like a little thicker, but it did have, and I guess like, you know what, like Italian wedding normally has like the orzo pasta in there. This had rice, I think. So, but still delicious soup. And I'm right there with you. I mean, a nice chowder, a chicken noodle, even like a cream of broccoli or cream of broccoli soup is great. Or even you want to go ramen, dude. The broth. Oh,
And it's interesting. Growing
that time
up,
of year.
I like, not that I just
French
had
onion.
it recently. Oh, French onion, of
Oh.
course. I just had it recently, but I was always actually like my favorite thing was clam chowder. But now I feel like my favorite thing is like a chicken noodle or a French onion. I feel like
Really?
those are the best. Lobster
Yeah,
bisque
lobster
as well.
bisque is
Obviously,
great.
can be a little heavy.
yeah. That's fine though.
But yeah, in Italian wedding, I don't have that
So
often.
good,
But
dude.
that is like I could have like so much of that soup. Honestly, that's really good. That's really good. Honestly, what are you gonna have for lunch?
I don't know. Undecided
Chopped
right now.
meats.
No, I don't have any. I kind of ate all my food that I have, and it's like that weird like in between time because then
Going
like
home.
we're gonna go
Christmas.
home Christmas early next week, and then this weekend we have like the Christmas party. So
Right.
dinner is like kind of taken care of. So like today is like a little bit of a, the lunch is like a little bit of an in limbo sort of deal. So we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously we have binge buddies after this, and then we gotta go pick up some food for the event tonight.
Oh, what are you gonna get for that?
I don't know, actually. Mike just texted me that we go pick up food. Like, Sandy,
Yeah.
I guess, had ordered food for the party. So, pick it up. Maybe have a little snack on the road,
There you go.
A quick little bite to eat. Dude, I don't know. But, yeah, we'll see. I'm a little hungry, dude.
Yeah, no, so am I, and it's just kind of tough too, because like I don't know if I want to get Gaetanos again, like the $13 lunches. But then again,
That's a killer,
No, but then
dude.
again, though, really though, what are you getting under $10 for lunch? That's actually good, and that's not Burger King. Or some fucking Subway deal.
Under
which is
$10 bucks?
disgusting.
I mean,
Please give it to
probably
me.
like nothing,
It's
dude.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Like I would love to hear it. Right? I mean, it's just not there.
I mean, I wonder, the Gaetano's on a roll. What is that?
Dude,
it's actually 12 bucks?
$12.75.
That's fucking robbery, dude.
I
Like,
know.
that should be $9.
Yeah. No, but sometimes I feel like too
At
with
most.
certain things they kind of like make up the prices as they go. Even though there is a price list, but I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it varies. The only thing I would say is it is so good, so I'm not like that tight. You know what
Right.
I mean? But it's just been nice having the protein bar because it's like, the whole box, like what is it, $2 a bar? Like it's like,
Yeah.
like I'm not like
Cheap.
spending too much, like this and that. But I don't mind also just getting, like I said, just having like even almonds, like, or
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was more like Robex around because I would get like just the peanut
Robex
butter
is sick, dude.
banana
Yeah, yeah,
smoothie.
yeah.
I would do that all day.
Their smoothies are awesome.
Have you had the 800-pound gorilla?
No.
It's the
hell's that?
one with the peanut butter and the
Oh. No, there was one that Mike used to got. It was called like Nutty something. It had peanut butter in it. Protein.
No, are you sure it's not that one? But maybe they have multiple ones.
I
with
feel
peanut
like
butter
it's
in it.
definitely not the 800-pound gorilla.
Because
I
you
feel
would
like I
remember the
that
name.
one. The name, dude.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
But yeah, I could definitely Robex some more too. There's the one in Fairfield,
Yeah, on Black Rock Turnpike.
Black Rock Turnpike. Yeah.
And there's one in Stanford right by
Oh.
Ridgeway there. So I've gotten that a lot, like after
Nice.
the gym. Maybe I'll do that later. But it's always just like go here, go there, and like the time and.
I know. You gotta get there. It's true, dude.
They need one around here. I know. I guess there's, but that one is like kind of
Out of the way.
inconvenient. Yeah.
It is.
Um,
And I don't even know if there's like a smoothie place on like Post Road. I guess there's like To Catch a Healthy Habit over there, but like I don't know what. I don't know.
you don't know what it's called?
No, To Catch a Healthy Habit is over there.
Oh, the way you said it was like you kind of like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like to catch a killer habit in the post. Wait, what?
Exactly, dude. But I've never like really, I guess, gone there. It's Glenn Coelho's place. We've had some food in there. Mike really likes that. It's like all like natural, like good stuff. Like there's bars, your bars, you know.
But it's interesting. Like I only your bars. I only like though like a smoothie like that with I guess it's not. Is it a smoothie? I guess it is. But like peanut butter banana. Like I don't like some like fruity smoothie. Like I don't like that. Like a bunch of yogurt and like berries. Like I don't like that. Like I think it's disgusting. Honestly,
Really?
for me. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I've had like a raspberry smoothie before. It's kind of good, like raspberries.
Yeah, I feel like it's just peanut butter. That's the only thing I like, and it could be vanilla or chocolate. Good stuff.
So you just want like a sundae, really?
Yeah, pretty much. A couple comments here. Matthew Ryan says, "Let's go Devils." Michael calling you a lightweight.
Yeah, it's
Tony.
ridiculous.
And then Matthew Ryan says, "At Michael Theodore, let's go Devils." And he says, "Can't and wishes he could eat as much as me and get the gains I get." And he says, "Go Rangers." Barnes, tell him, referring to Matthew Ryan. And yes, Michael is no longer a Devils fan. He's on our side. And listen, he's hanging in there. The tough times, just like Tony is right now with the Jets. So props needs to go out to Michael for that. And then he also says, "Love the 800-pound gorilla. It's great only for the gains, baby." Tony wouldn't understand it. So really going after you this morning, Tony.
Yeah, no, I mean he's been doing that recently. I guess I don't know what he thinks, but I don't know. He thinks like he's getting bigger than me because he's eating more. But it's like he didn't eat all day yesterday. I need that burger, and I had 3 meals yesterday. So
We didn't eat all day?
That's what he says. Or maybe he didn't eat dinner. I'm sure he had breakfast, eggs, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like I had like a hefty eating day, and I've been out eating him for like a while now.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy.
No, and it's crazy too because I was all doing that, the Protein Part 12. Now after, especially like the last couple of weeks, like I'm not messing around with like pushing it, like not eating. Like I'm just not.
Right.
Don't need to go back to those times.
Dude, and it's so crazy too. It's like my mom. I was talking to my mom last night, and we were setting down the Christmas menu. In the morning, we're gonna make some eggs Benedict. And then after that, before dinner, like a little like appetizer, we have some manigot that she's making, like in red sauce. Obviously, it'll be so good. And for dinner, classic holiday ham, Brussels sprouts, twice baked potato. I know you don't, but twice baked potato. You ever have twice baked potato?
No, twice baked potato is good. I just don't like potato and butter. But if you're gonna
Right.
twice bake it,
it's
cheese
so
and
fucking
bacon,
good,
it's- of
dude.
course it's great.
Amazing, dude.
I don't need sour cream though, honestly. Sour cream.
I know. We don't need to go again. We got sour cream. And dessert, cheesecake, chocolate cake. Gonna be fire, dude.
Yeah, no, see,
Like,
that's
God,
that's
dude.
what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Couple more here. Matthew Ryan saying Rangers suck, dude. LOL. Well, it's like, yeah, they're having a tough time right now, Matthew. But luckily for them, the season doesn't end right now. You would think after some moves, they'll turn it around. And I wouldn't get too ahead of yourself with the Devils. Obviously, they're playing well, but it doesn't mean that they might not have a tough stretch around the corner. So just keep that in mind. Kev, talking about how he sent us a video of what he's got going on today.
What is he doing today?
Michael says he had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course. Matthew saying Barnes will be lucky. Rangers will be lucky to make the playoffs. I mean, yeah, obviously the way they're playing right now, but like I said, it doesn't mean things can't change like the flip of a coin, Matthew. And then Michael, the routineer, what's that about?
I think it's just the routine.
Oh, the routine. And he says
that.
Rangers will be on top soon enough. Tony is nervous for Christmas Day eating because he gets full after a cookie.
That's ridiculous, by the way. Like I'm starving right now. Steak and eggs I had for breakfast yesterday. Steak and eggs, Brian.
Toast too, or no?
Bagel.
Wow, that's hearty.
Hearty is right, dude. A big day, dude. And I had lunch. Actually, I guess I didn't have lunch, right? I had dinner. And then I had Duchess after fucking dinner. Fuck you, Michael. And by the way, I'm watching Kev Du's video.
Boiler room.
I mean, honestly, Kev Du, it looks like you're standing around filming on your phone is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you're not working right
And
now. It looks like, you know.
we know
like
the
just,
flan is in
like,
the
come
background.
on, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're.
What do you mean, bro?
If you're standing around right now filming, you can send your pics in, buddy. How about that?
And then Michael said he was going to do it today, and he didn't. Lightweight. What's that about?
Do what today?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Lifting?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, why do you think you said lightweight though?
I don't know.
And then Matthew is calling you a lightweight and saying he's not playing with Diddy Oil. And then Kevin Dude says you guys are first. Oh, steak and eggs. Oh, you said you were gonna do that today again.
Oh, really?
Oh,
no,
so
yeah,
you still have the Staten Island bagels?
Yeah, I still have Staten Island bagels. I still have steak left over too. My mom had like a little piece of steak.
What type of steak?
Piece. She had the fillet, I believe. No, she had New York strip.
Oh wow.
New York strip, and I had the porterhouse.
It's like I really could have that for breakfast every day. That would be just so ridiculous.
I'm not gonna lie, like yesterday when I had it, like it was like still melted in my mouth. The steak was
How did you
good.
like warm it up? Just on the stovetop or?
Yeah, on my cast iron pan.
Yeah. The cast iron.
The cast iron,
Wash
dude.
it right after. Don't leave any stains, right?
Yeah. You wipe it down, dude. Of course,
Yeah.
of course. And then I had some couple over easy eggs and the bagel, dude. It was, oh my God. I'd go for that right now. I might go home right now, honestly. Just make it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, honestly, starving. I might have to get Gaetano's
Put your
again.
put your jacket
It'll
on.
be so. It was a zoo yesterday. I went at 1 o'clock, Tony. After 1 o'clock, it was almost 2 o'clock actually, and it was a zoo. Had to wait 15 minutes.
That sucks when you're hungry. You gotta wait for the fucking food. You're in there. Oh.
I know.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? It's Gaetano's. Like,
Yeah, it is Gaetano's. And then Michael says, you have to clean it a particular way. I learned the hard way trying to clean Tony's one time at his crib, LOL.
dude, he tried to make eggs in it one time, and it was like, you know, like sometimes when you make eggs in a pan, and like either there's not enough butter or oil, or the pan was too hot to begin with, and it like sticks. Dude, he ruined this pan, dude, for a little bit. I had to like, and it's not,
I've done it
yeah,
myself.
And it's not a big deal. Honestly, I mean, I don't really care that much, but it's like with cast irons, like you're not supposed to like, and people talk about it. You're supposed to like wash it with soap, though. It's like the whole point of it is that cast iron like retains its natural seasoning, you know, and that's what gives your food so much flavor. And the seasoning is just, you know, it just happens over the course of time from constantly cooking in it. And like when you strip it, like when you wash it with soap and like a sponge or anything and really strip it down, you strip away the seasoning, then you gotta redo it. And like,
it is kind of a pain in the ass. Like, I think what is like supposed to be though? Because I know there's something with it, like the benefit of cooking with one.
that, what I just said basically, is that like you really do, you get a very unique flavor cooking with cast iron. Also, cast iron like heats up very evenly.
Okay.
So like when you cook a steak on it, you know like everything's getting cooked the same amount, like the same heat, same time, everything like that. And they also last forever. Cast iron doesn't.
Unless you ruin it.
Yeah, well, unless I guess so. Unless you like leave it out, and it's like rusted. But even so, you get the rust off. You can strip cast iron down and then like start over from scratch.
Yeah,
basically.
You just don't want like the stuff getting in the food though.
Oh yeah, of course not. Oh yeah, you gotta like, you know.
But that's why it's not good for me because I don't like cooking. So like I want to get through it quick, and I don't have to worry about all these like rules. And like I understand. I think you know what it is. It's for people that have enthusiasm for cooking.
Right.
I think cast iron makes sense for someone like myself. Not really the way to go. But also, I just don't want to cook in general. I just hate it.
Yeah, you don't ever cook, huh?
No, it's been basically a year. Like I'll make cookies.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh my god. Like what kind of cookies? Like are we talking
just
like
no,
the
I'm not
Townhouse chocolate chip
No,
cookies?
not Townhouse because we get dairy free because Sam, has a dairy allergy. So it's always the Pillsbury roll, and you can't even tell that there's not dairy in them. Like they're amazing, honestly.
Okay.
Sugar and chocolate chip. I'm more of a sugar guy. I love the chocolate chip, but I think sugar is the best.
Sugar cookies.
Yes.
Sugar cookies are good.
Yeah. But yeah, just cooking in general.
Chocolate
I don't know. It's just annoying. Like all of the seasonings you need to have, the cleanup, the preparation. I don't want to get a hunk of chopped meat. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
All right.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't
I think one thing you would agree, Tony, because you're obviously like on the go a lot. Like the time part of it is annoying.
I mean, that would be the only reason why I'm like
Because you have a busy day. Like,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
you want to spend 2 hours in the kitchen? When
no,
you
you can't. Like I'm forced to get out to eat out. You know.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, it is what it is, dude.
And then a couple more here before we move on. Matthew saying Tony can't eat that much, and then Michael saying that is something we can agree on. Matthew, such a lightweight, all talk, no bite with the eating. I guess referring to the Sicilian challenge. And
Ridiculous,
then
dude.
Matthew said, should I stick with the Xbox or go to PS5? I mean, I'm a PlayStation guy, but that's just me. But any thoughts there, Tony?
Yeah, like literally, like I don't know what. I guess for Matthew Ryan, I mean, it really at this point it could go either way, dude. I mean, I'm more of a Sony guy too, but in my opinion, I think the Xbox is cooler looking than the PS5. I think the new PS5 looks. I think it's so weird. But then again, I think Xbox is stopping their having like their only Xbox only titles, right? PlayStation's going to be getting Halo and Gears and things like that. So I'm going to go PS5, I guess, dude. And I guess in terms of Michael, I mean, he's just talking about his ass right now. And the whole like you haven't even done the fucking contest with the pizza, dude. Like, what are we talking about right now?
How come nobody's like saying that I can't eat that much? I haven't heard that one.
Because I guess not really in question, dude. Although I would think you would still have a tough time with the like Sicilian. Like, people understand. Like, dude, it's like eating probably like 2.5 loaves of bread in one sitting.
But you don't think I could put it down? What was the time stipulation that was supposed to be for you?
There shouldn't have been any,
what
dude.
Was it?
I think it was an hour, really, is what he had said.
But you
at
really
first.
don't think I could do that?
No, I think you could, but I'm not going to say it's easy. Like, you're going to struggle, dude. It's a struggle.
But what I would do is literally not eat all day, and then there would be no struggle.
Yeah, but like it's not going to be like you're sitting there for X amount of time and you're just going to be eating and being happy the whole time. Like, you're going to be like,
no, I'm telling
at some
you,
point,
I
dude.
could, like, especially if I didn't eat all day, like, there would be no, like, rush. It would just be, like, me normally eating, and it would be under an hour.
Which is a rush anyway.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying.
All right, then let's fucking do it, all right? All these fucking big guys over here have a lot to say, all right? So just put your money where your mouth is, dude.
But the bite.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly,
Tony's questioning.
dude. Where is it, dude?
Michael talking about the 24/7
dog
hour stream.
here.
It's on. I'm going to show you what the heavyweight does. 1 hour. No, Barnes, you got this. We got this.
1 hour.
So he knows.
1 hour.
He knows. But one thing for me, too, I have to say, has always been, like, in terms of, like, just a certain amount, nothing crazy, like speed, like I'm good at, but like I think like actually like for like an excessive amount, I don't really think a Sicilian pie when you don't eat all day is that excessive, but like just a crazy amount, I think I'm not good at. It's just like the short-term burst, I definitely could probably go with anybody. But I feel like maybe long-term, not Sicilian pie, but something else, I think I could see you being better than me.
Michael's texting me now. That's so funny. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'd go toe-to-toe any eating contest. I mean, whether I win or not, I feel like it's a win anyway because I'm having like a bunch of food that I probably really enjoy. So it's like what the hell, dude?
That's
you know? Like I had fucking 5 slices of a Sicilian pie from Southport. Like that's sick, dude.
Yeah, yeah. That was during the challenge. So you were 3 short?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think. The other night, I wasn't like stuffed out of my mind, and I had 2 regular slices, 2 Sicilian pies. So another 6, but then without the 2. Yeah, I mean, it definitely will be like overstuffed, but it's not like I would throw up or something. Like, especially an hour.
I don't think
That's
so.
a lot of time because I mean,
You think so, dude?
No. For me though, I'm eating 3 slices in 10 minutes. Definitely. You don't think so?
Yeah, no, I think you can get 3 slices in 10 minutes.
Yeah, especially the not eating.
Right. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, then we have to fucking like organize this. I'm sick and tired of hearing like people talk shit, and I'll do it with you guys, honestly, dude. And then again, I mean, we'll keep the hour constriction, and I'll know it wouldn't be just sprung upon me. Oh, by the way, you have an hour to do this, Tony. You know, like, let's fucking go.
You think
dude.
you could do it without the pen, though?
I didn't have it the last time, dude.
Sorry, I was just making a joke.
Oh.
Come on, you have to be so serious all
No,
the time?
I'm fucking pissed right now, dude. And now I'm hungry.
No, I am hungry. I've been hungry. But the whole thing is, and he says 24/7 in the new year. And then he says such a lightweight mentality. He didn't technically finish the 5th slice. So
I don't think so. No, I was on to the 6th.
Listen, I wasn't there. But I think that's a good introduction.
Check tape.
And this is the sports port, not the food port. So let's go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick 6. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again.
Mahomes escaping, on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones, oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
That's so funny.
All right.
Look at the chips, dude. The chips.
Yeah, could go for some chips.
Code
red right now.
If Mike came in here with 3 Sicilian pies, honestly, I might even not even go to the Christmas party tonight. We'll do it tonight, dude.
Right now I could do the full Sicilian.
Right?
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. But I have to say, last night was a treat on the gridiron as the Los Angeles Chargers outlast the Denver Broncos 34-27, kicking off Week 16. And we were talking about this before the show, and I'm kind of interested if anybody else wants to comment about this. I thought last night was Al Michaels' best performance since he made the switch over to Prime Video from NBC. I thought he was so excited for everything, engaged in the game. Sure, I think there was just one mistake I noticed about saying that there was encroachment instead of a false start. But I have to say, Al Michaels has always been one of my favorite announcers, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous that he's kind of caught the slack the last couple of years. Very similar to Bob Costas, and I feel like it's just two different scenarios. I feel like Bob Costas deserved it, his ridiculous stuff. Michaels was more like, oh, it doesn't sound like he's excited or he made a mistake or two by accident. Costas, it wasn't a mistake. He was just deciding to be a Chief. I mean, don't you agree with that, Tony?
Yes, I would say I do, dude. I mean, obviously we know about Costas, but in terms of Al Michaels, I mean, I think that, he was getting a bad rap because those Thursday night matchups were so just terrible, dude. He had a very tumultuous relationship with those Thursday night games. And obviously last night was a great one. I mean, it was set up perfectly, obviously, like a lot of playoff implications, Herbert, the Broncos, history between the coaches, like there was a lot of storylines there, and you could tell he was definitely excited. And even just watching the highlight this morning, like listening again to his calls, like you can even more like reaffirmed it, dude.
If you close your eyes, you would think he was announcing a game with Madden 20 years ago.
Literally.
So I love that. Like I said, he's always been one of my favorites. Always loved that NBC broadcast. And even when he was with Chris Collinsworth, I mean, at least Michaels was so good that he made it tolerable. But now, I mean, Collinsworth just sucks the life out of the broadcast, and I'm sure Mike Tirico is earning for NBC to wrestle John Gruden away from Barstool, because obviously we need the dream team back together. That's just my opinion there. But in terms of this game, the Broncos got off to a really hot start. They force a punt out of the Chargers and then go on a 10-play, 72-yard drive, and capped off by Audric Estim, a 3-yard rush. So that made it 7-0. And really, first half of this game, the Chargers defense, which has been lauded, and I know they've had some injuries, but you got Derwin James there and Joey Bosa. They had been lauded as one of the best in the leagues, but they looked like Swiss cheese last night, especially in the first half. But the Chargers were able to answer back after, another punt. They go 8 plays, 70 yards. Gus Edwards, a 1-yard rush. And I thought Justin Herbert, the entire game, really, there was one mistake he made at the end of the second quarter, but he was just on the money. And you could see he's impacted by that ankle injury, had it all taped up. But he is just a tremendous quarterback. So we move on, second quarter, a drive that started at the tail end of the first quarter. The Chargers go 12 plays, 70 yards, and Michael Burton catches a 1-yard touchdown pass from Bo Nix. So that made it 14-7 Denver. And then the Chargers get the ball back, 8 plays, 51 yards, stalls out. So they bring in Dicker for a 37-yard field goal to make it 14-10. It was interesting. That field goal, they had 3rd and inches, and they got backed up to 4th and 3 with Gus Edwards, a bigger back. So that was surprising. Denver gets the ball back, 6 plays, 70 yards. Capped off by a Devon Vele 6-yard touchdown pass from Bo Nix. So 21-10. At that point, you're thinking, geez, is this going to be a blowout? And the Chargers, are they collapsing? Are they going to just have one of those things where they just lose out to end the season? Those were the type of thoughts that was going through my head. And then this is one of those things, that I would just get, just such a kick out of, no pun intended. So end of the half, the Chargers were driving. Herbert throws an interception. It was one of those things, Justin Herbert is always known for making really good decisions with the football. And I want to say they were on the 20-yard line. He just throws an interception where, his receiver wasn't even in the area. It was like he was targeting the defender. That's how bad it was. Denver gets the ball back. Seems like they're trying to wind the clock out, but Harbaugh smartly calls a timeout with maybe 30 seconds, maybe a little less than that. And there's fair catch interference on the punt. So they opt for the fair catch kick, which is a rule that I actually had heard about, wasn't that familiar with. So basically what it is towards the end of the half, even if the clock is expiring, if you call for a fair catch kick, when the ball is being punted back to you, from that spot, you get a kick with no rush. So the other team can return the kick, but they can't rush the kicker. And this had not been done, Tony, in an NFL game since 1976. So that's just one of those things, a little nostalgia. Al Michaels having fun with it as well. So that was part of the excitement of the night for Al. And Dicker makes it 57 yards, has been lauded as one of the best kickers in the game. So the Chargers do go into the second half with some momentum. And then, the Broncos did receive, so that's why it was big that the Chargers got some type of points on the board before going into the third quarter. So Broncos go on 11-play, 47-yard drive, but it stalls out. Bring out Lutz's 41-yard field goal, 24-13. And then the Chargers get the ball back, 10-play, 70-yard drive. Gus Edwards from 5-yard out punches it in. So 24-19, go for 2. Don't get it. Justin Herbert with the quarterback draw just short, probably on the inch line. So then, we move on to the fourth quarter. And the Chargers defense really looked different in second half, only allowed 6 points. So their offense really took over. 7 plays, 78-yard drive. Herbert to Darius Davis from 19 yards out. And they go for 2. He gets it. Joshua Palmer,
great catch.
The circus act for the 2-point conversion. I really have not seen that where a receiver's near the out of bounds line, hits it up with one hand and then catches it and has the feet control to stay in. That was an amazing catch, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was number 1 on SportsCenter today. So we have a couple punts. Chargers defense doing well. And then the Chargers really just, cap off this game. 6 plays, 90-yard drive. Hassan Haskins catches a 34-yard pass from Herbert, 24-34. And then the Broncos go 7 plays, 33 yards. There's about a minute left. Kick a 55-yard field goal, make it. And then, don't get the onside kick and ultimately lose this game 34-27. So a big win for the Chargers. They had not played well in their previous 2 losses. And the Broncos were riding high coming into this game, but now both teams sitting at 9-6, and the Broncos actually moving down to the 7th seed. Chargers up to the 6th. So right now Denver would play Buffalo in Buffalo, and the Chargers would play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So, a lot still to be determined there. And also with the Denver loss, it keeps those 6 and 8 teams alive. But obviously, it's tough to bank on. Just like the TCA looking for us to lose all of our picks, it's tough to bank on like the Broncos losing out.
Right.
What are the chances of that? More than likely, they'll win 1 game, and that will secure them a playoff berth. So, this was a fascinating game. Could have been the best Thursday night football game of the season. And I think this was a big win for your buddy Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. They needed this win to kind of get things going again.
Yeah, dude, huge win for Jim. And you look at that second half too. Just basically stopping like any offense the Broncos could have going for them. You talk about Jim and his defensive prowess. He was definitely flexing it there. And then speaking of flexing, Herbert, taking command of that second half of this game. I think that last scoring drive he had was I forget how many. It was 80 yards in less than it was
7
like a
plays.
minute. Yeah, it was like so quick too. The way he can just push downfield, his vision is really ridiculous. Just seems like he knows exactly at what point who's going to be open and whatnot, and like you said too, limits his amount of turnovers. 3rd interception, you said, right?
Yeah, through 15 games, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive, I'd say. And it seems like they're getting a good running game with Gus Edwards. Yes, maybe they have a little bit of an offensive line problem sometimes. The pressure on Herbert is a lot and overwhelming sometimes. And I guess you see sometimes like, McConkey or Palmer, I guess Haskins dropping a pass every so often. Quentin Johnson specifically has been dropping a lot of passes recently. But regardless, I think this team is, if they do end up making the playoffs, which it does seem like that they will be, they could be a sleeper team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just one of those things, of course, everybody wants to see the Bengal run, Joey Ice, and I would like to see it too, but it's just not going to happen. The Colts, the Broncos, they're just not going to make the playoffs. Like, there's just no way. Not the Colts and the Broncos, but I meant the Colts and the Bengals. But one thing, too, that I'm surprised about is Denver, the offense kind of, being stagnant there in the second half. is Javonte Williams. He's the fourth-year running back out of North Carolina. His rookie year, he almost rushed for 1,000 yards, 903, 4 touchdowns, 4.4 yards per carry. He has I think it was the ACL or the Achilles injury. The following year, only plays 4 games. Last year, kind of production down, 774, only 3.6 a carry. This year, they're giving him, he's almost played the same amount of games as last season, and he has, 134 carries versus 217 last year. So it seems like they're kind of going away from him, and I think, he's still only 24 years old. I would like to see them kind of give him, some more run. So that's just kind of my thought. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. But like I said, both teams sit at 9-6. And if you look at, what's upcoming here, the Broncos, will play the Bengals and that game. So let's see. So that'll be, is that right? So, right. Okay, that game will be Saturday. So next Saturday. So a week from tomorrow in Cincinnati. So kind of an interesting game. I mean, that's how, if the Bengals, obviously have to win this week, but if they do, that will become a big game. And then they close with the Chiefs. That game, it's questionable. Is Kansas City? I mean, I would think at that point they'll have everything wrapped up and would most likely start Carson Wentz. I know I was actually talking with Josh and Alan yesterday, and they were saying like, oh, maybe they don't want to have Mahomes, go the final couple weeks without
ankle.
playing but with the bye weeks, you're like kind of rusty. So I don't know. I think, though, when you have everything wrapped up, why risk putting your quarterback out there in the last week of the season?
And not for nothing, like, it is Patrick Mahomes. I just give him as much rest as possible with that ankle. Like, he's not going to be rusty, dude. Yeah. Like, and not for nothing, like, I mean, how much rustier could he get? Like you talk about how a little bit of a poor season for him, I guess, but
still, it'll end up being like where it's like, okay, it's not going to be that bad either. No. You know what I mean?
For him, that's
yes,
what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So the Chargers, they finish up actually a Saturday game as well, Tony, against the Patriots. So next Saturday, and then at the Raiders to finish up. So you would assume they win those 2 games, and I would not be surprised if they stay put here as the 6th seed in the AFC, and I think that will be a good game if that's what we get. In Pittsburgh on, wild card weekend. So we'll have to see. I mean, I guess there is a chance that Baltimore could falter. They have Pittsburgh tomorrow in Baltimore. So that's always a tough matchup there for sure. But a lot that definitely left to be determined. Tons of game this weekend, 2 games tomorrow with the Chiefs and the Texans. And then, like I said, the Steelers and the Ravens. What do we got for Michael?
He says it was 90 yards in 2 minutes, and then he says one of the craziest things of the NFL season will be Barkley breaking the rushing record in the final game versus the Giants, dude.
Wow.
That's what they're saying he's slated up to be doing.
What's what the rushing record? So right now Barkley has 1688. I know it's just over 2000. Is it 2100? I know Eric Dickerson, Tony. I know you wouldn't have pulled that one out of your ass. 2105.
2105, 1984. I would not have gotten Eric Dickerson. Who did he play for?
He played for the Rams.
Like pretty entire career?
Hall of Famer, yeah. But actually, I'm not going to lie. Till I found that out, which at this point, I mean, let's be real, it's probably 15 years ago, but I had never heard of Eric Dickerson, to be honest. Definitely one of the better players, especially at the running back position of all time. So you think about 2100, okay, Barkley, 1688. So that means 400 yards. So call it like 415 over a 3-game span. So basically he's going to have to average like 105 yards a game the rest of the way. And then it'll be interesting too, like if their seeding is locked up if he plays week 18.
Yeah.
But do you think they would do it to get him the record?
I think the Eagles would do it. I don't know if Barkley would honestly care that much.
No, I think it would be, though, up to the team, not up to him, though. He's not going to be like, oh, I'm not playing. Like it's up to them if they want.
No. But I think that like if the team, I think like Sirianni would be like, yo, I'll play you, and Barkley could be like, I don't really care. Like, don't play me is what I would
yeah,
think.
But I don't know. He doesn't strike me as a don't play me type of guy. You know what I mean?
Well, no.
Like it would be more like them saying to him, like even if he wanted it, Tony, and then them saying to him, listen, it's best for the team. We're going to bench it. He wouldn't combat it. That's all I was saying. No.
Yes. No. Yes. But what I'm saying is that like if in that scenario they want to play him, but the season's wrapped up, he's like, no, I should like sit me. Like I'm not. Like, you don't have to give me all these touches. Like you want to save me for the playoffs. If that's what's important, you know.
Yeah. But no, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, it's not up to him though. It's not. I mean, you can't.
What do you mean not to him?
It's up to the team. Like he doesn't decide when he plays and doesn't.
Yeah, but in the scenario, I'm saying.
No, I understand like what the thought process is, but all I was just saying is it's not up to him. Like they're gonna make the decision. That's all I was saying.
Okay, if you think that.
You don't think so?
Well, I'm like I would imagine like if the Eagles have their season wrapped up, they're not gonna play him as much.
You would think, but you never know, honestly, because we've seen crazy stuff before, honestly.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
But I don't think like in that like I don't think Barkley would be like, why are you playing me so much? That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. But but also, Tony, I'm not gonna lie though, I think it depends how the next 2 games go. Because if he like, let's say next 2 games he has like a combined 260 or something, then I think they're gonna play him because it's not gonna take that much.
Yeah, definitely.
So
but I mean, he's got to get that 260, I guess, then, right?
Yeah.
It's not unheard of at all.
Oh, actually, no, I completely messed up. I'm just thinking about this because I was saying that it's 415 yards, so that wouldn't be 105. It would be 138. So he needs like a 200-yard game, basically, to like kind of catch up on that pace. Because that's tough to average 138 yards for 3 games in a row.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you...
that kind of changes things for you, huh?
I mean, he kind of did that, though, this season.
Oh, he's done it. He's done it.
Like, he's
but
done
it's
it
just,
multiple times, probably this season in a 3-game span.
Yeah. So this game this week, is going to be a big part of whether, he gets it or not. And it's a divisional game against the Commanders. Plus, though, I was just thinking about this. They might need to play the last week because now with the Lions losing, they're in the conversation to get the number 1 seed. So they actually might be playing.
All right, well, there you go, dude.
Yeah.
Rush him.
So tight, dude. What do you mean, dude? But the time that Kev has been waiting for the boiler room.
Let's go, dude.
It's our turn for the picks. I've done a little scouting myself, just in terms of what I was thinking. One thing that I like, I don't know if you want to half circle it, but I definitely love because their playoff lives are at stake. The division is at stake as well. I love the Rams -3 at the Jets. At least you got to give me a half circle, Tony. I don't want to hear any pessimism. You can give me a half circle. I don't want to hear it.
I'll give you a half circle.
Okay. Just wanted to mention that. And then other games here. This plays right up your alley. I hate the 4, but I do like the Bucks at the Cowboys. The run continuing for Baker.
Easy. Like I would say full circle on that one, but if you want to give me a half circle,
well, let's just look at things here. Buffalo, the 14, they probably will do it, but I know we hate doing stuff like that. The Vikings at Seattle, I definitely like that one.
I would hammer the Vikings, right?
Yeah. So I think let's do those. Let's do those for our first 2 picks. So it's going to be Vikings -3 at Seattle, and then also. We will do the Bucks -4 at Dallas. So 2 road teams. And I'm going to actually just write this in our chat just so it's there. And then you got eyes on something else, Tony?
I kind of don't mind the Cardinals -5 against the Panthers. Not
a bad one.
Colts -3.5 against the Titans.
Colts are just Anthony Richardson is terrible though. You know what I mean? I can't pick the Colts ever with conviction with him.
Jeez, boy, Bengals -9, huh?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Detroit,
is it a trap? But -6.5 against Chicago again, a road.
That
team.
kind of seems like a trap, I suppose.
But they're not going to lose to the Bears.
They're not going to lose, but they got to cover 6.5.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't. I mean. The Steelers +6.5.
No, I know that game, the history of the rivalry. I would do the only thing, no Justin Fields, just for the rushing packages. I know that would be the only thing that matters. He's a backup quarterback. No George Pickens. Steelers didn't look great, though. That's why I'm a little hesitant there, and I like the Rams better than that, I would say. You're worried about Jay. You're gonna see him. He's gonna get tight. That's what you're thinking.
Honestly,
I don't know
I
why
think-
Jay would want to win right now.
I would think Rodgers still just goes off though. Like he
Dude,
just
the
wants
Rams
to
still have
because
the
he wants
division,
to.
but the division at stake. They're not losing to the Jets, Tony. It's just not gonna happen. It's like saying the Rangers are gonna beat the Stars tonight. It's not happening.
It could happen.
It's definitely not gonna happen. I want it to happen, but it's not gonna happen.
You definitely don't want the Jets to win.
Well, it would make sense for the Jets. It would make sense for the Jets to win. Like, I don't know, if they had a couple more wins and actually could make the playoffs, which they haven't made in 14 years, you know?
No, that would be great. Yes, I totally agree there. Have you watched Enigma, by the way, with Aaron Rodgers?
No,
Netflix.
he's such a chief. I don't
We'll
know.
be talking about it on Binge Buddies. I finished it. The Dark Room. Dude, some of the
Did you actually enjoy that though?
I will say yes, I did enjoy it. I mean, not for nothing. Like it is, like his story is kind of wild, dude. Even, growing up and couldn't get into college, to go to community college, play football there, then prove himself there, then obviously with the Cal or whatever. So yeah, dude, it was a cool story. And then the whole thing, dude, honestly, like at one point this episode they showed an interview. They sat down Favre and Rodgers. And I don't know, dude. Not for nothing. Like it seems like that them two did not have a great relationship.
Oh, they never did. Yeah, they tried to make like it was okay at the ESPYS like years ago. But come on,
that's what they tried to make it. It felt like that in the documentary as well.
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't really hang out with me. And Favre was like, well, I took you golfing that one time. And it literally like it felt like like some kid's dad just came back into his life, and he's like, what do you want? And it's not good.
I don't know. I'm Rodgers out. Honestly.
And then
I really
do the
am.
whole article yesterday too with the Jets. I mean, I can't. Woody, the kids in the locker room making speeches and the meetings.
Mike White, you suck ass.
Mike White, dude. Yeah, you should throw your helmet, dude. You suck. Like what? And like you didn't even say it to his face. It gets back to him through someone else. Like you're the owner, dude.
But when you hear stuff like that, like it's just for me. Like that's why I was saying in the group chat yesterday. It's like it's hard for me to care. Like it's like, you know what I mean? You're making it a circus. So like why am I gonna be at all wrapped up in it until you just get the hell out of here?
Well, that's what I mean though. Aren't you clamoring for that, dude?
But
I
it's
didn't
like
realize.
he's not though.
I was telling Mike too. He went to like Europe for like 5 years without his family.
Ambassadorship.
Oh my
Christopher
god, dude.
taking over,
Unbelievable.
hiring Gase, and Salah, I think. Anyway,
Left his kids for 5 years.
But you act like it's a surprise, Tony.
I mean, that's
that this
kinda
guy
crazy,
is a terrible person, a terrible owner. Like, haven't you known this?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know?
Yeah,
so
I guess so.
It sucks the life out of you, and I feel bad that I feel like Jay gets like emotional about it. Honestly.
Oh, Jay's really fucking angry, dude.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
Like Christmas party tomorrow, he may be in his Jets jersey, crying.
But it's just like I don't know.
Oh, he's gonna see the Revis jersey on the wall. He's like, damn. Revis on it.
But it's a shame too because I just feel like the circus will continue because they're gonna bring back Rodgers next year.
It's so funny because Mike already said, dude, Rodgers Super Bowl next year.
He did not say that. He said that seriously.
I don't. I mean, you can ask him yourself, dude. I know he doesn't like when I speak for him.
Well, it's like, did he say it or not? Because
He said it to me. Was it serious or not? I took it as serious. He said the last episode wasn't bad, by the way.
I just
it was good. It was good, dude. It's so like watching that. Like I want to hate him, honestly.
and Michael says I want him to win a Super Bowl for us. But Michael, did you say he was going to win the Super Bowl? Two different things. So Tony. That's what I want. Who doesn't want to see their team win a Super Bowl? No. I agree with all that, but I'm just asking if you're saying that Tony is saying that you said he's going to.
Michael's
Not that
dodging the
you-
question, dude.
Yeah.
He's dodging. I don't know, dude.
But yeah, no, because it's funny. I'm definitely not one of those people, other than like just like a draft position thing. But it's like. Never gonna like. He says I said, and then Kev says the picture in. I guess he texted him to us.
I said. Is Michael saying he said, or is he saying it's like a
It's
dot
like-
dot
yeah,
dot?
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
So Kevin I mean, I can't believe I said Kevin.
Kevin.
You know why I
dude.
said it? Because he said loins instead of lions. 6.5.
Dude.
Colts -3.5, and the Steelers +6.5. So they take the bait, and all of those games we actually mentioned ourselves. And then Michael said it would be the craziest story ever, everything if they did win next year. Yeah, it would be. But I I think the biggest thing for me is not even so much that like sticking with the chief that is Aaron Rodgers, but it's just like the coach. Like I just feel like with an erratic owner like Woody Johnson, and I know I've been saying this all week, I just question, who wants to be a part of this mess, and especially because of Rodgers, because he's just such a chief.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's so tough because, dude, you watch a documentary and it's like it seems like he does have the respect of a lot of players, Rodgers. So I don't know. It's interesting, dude. But I mean, the likelihood of him.
I don't even think they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm just gonna say we don't even know what the roster is.
I don't think they will either,
No,
dude.
they're not.
And to
They're
be
not.
honest, like the ownership, like if I'm anyone on that roster and I'm reading this article and I'm also like
Get me out of here.
Get me the hell out of here, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you have people within your organization that are like anonymously like publishing quotes like in an article about bashing the owner, like, and that obviously are remaining anonymous in order to like not be fired. Like, that's not good, dude. Like, you're having a significant like you have like a fucking mole in your organization. Basically, you have an ascension, dude.
Yeah, it's a fucking mess.
Like, no one's following Woody anywhere.
And then Michael says Jay should be the coach. He would have them undefeated. The media makes him out to be worse than he is, and Tony knows it.
No, he's not wrong. I mean, that was a big part of the episode 3, especially with the COVID thing and everything. And then, like, I mean, say what you will, I suppose, on your opinions about that. It does seem like that the media tried to paint it as like Rodgers never told anyone that he had an ulterior like immunization method that wasn't the vaccination. But in the meantime, like everyone on the Packers knew.
But I'm not even, that doesn't even cross my mind. I just see it as like just with certain things about like he just flips out at like certain media members, like the way that they say certain things. And I don't know. I just don't like it's like the mindset of like, oh, it's like a privilege to talk to me. And the fact too that, for all the talent that he has, it doesn't seem like he really answers for the fact that his whole career, other than one season, he's come up short. And that was a very long time ago.
Yeah, and I also will say too. I mean, this documentary was very much like produced by Aaron Rodgers. There wasn't anyone to be like, well,
no,
like it was him and all his buddies. It was him and Devontae Adams.
He can answer tough questions. I don't think he can. I don't think he can answer, and I don't think he has it in him to accept blame, and that's why I question the whole thing.
I will say though, I mean, they interviewed McCarthy and LaFleur, and they both seem to enjoy him. Which I mean, I guess how you not? I mean, he is a really good quarterback, I suppose.
Yeah, but like, give me the numbers against the Niners in the NFC Championship game. I'll never forget they lost.
His playoff numbers aren't great.
10-3, and like gave up a punt return touchdown. They lost to the Niners. I think that was like, I don't know, 3 years ago or whatever it is, or maybe even more, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And then Michael's saying the Packers are to blame for that. They only won 2-0 was 30 years of Brett Favre and Rodgers. I don't know. I think they've always had a competitive team. I mean, I think the one thing you could say is like the defense, I guess, was, top 5, I think, once the year that they won the Super Bowl, and that they weren't. But I think it was good enough. And if you go back to these NFC Championship games, I think he, came up short at the end of the day. I don't necessarily think it was about the team.
I mean, I think there is like some mismanagement. The way he describes the day that Jordan Love was drafted, because he was asked, he just didn't even know anything about it. Like he wasn't. He's watching the draft, and that was the first time he heard about it.
Right.
And like obviously felt weird. And then I guess after that season, he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna come back. And they're like, take until March. But just so you know, like if you do want to do it, like you're our guy. You'll be our number 1 quarterback. Just like you have until March to make that decision.
Yeah.
And then like I think like a week later, his agent called him and he's like, yeah, they're shopping you for trades. And it's like, well, like what the hell is that, dude?
I just think I'm just saying.
I believe what you want, I guess, but that's what he said. So I mean, what am I gonna do?
I just am not going to
take your jacket off.
And I'm not going to take my jacket off. And I'm also not going to fall for, an Aaron Rodgers production. Either, because it just facts are facts, and Michael's mentioning about Favre. But the thing is, Rodgers was far better of a quarterback than Brett Favre. Brett Favre threw so many interceptions, and sometimes it worked out. He's taking risks, but statistically, Rodgers, regular season wise, had been one of the best quarterbacks ever before going to the Jets and tapering off in that final season in 2022 with the Pack. So yeah, I just don't like that in the playoffs. There were definitely opportunities they had, and he personally just did not, get the job done. And then I want to see. Show me some video, show me some press conference where Aaron Rodgers is accepting responsibility for something and not blaming other people. Then I could take a Aaron Rodgers produced film somewhat seriously, because I just don't think he does. So when you're that level, you have to be subject to criticism, and I'm not going to have a pity party for someone like him. I'm just absolutely not going to do it.
Yeah,
especially what we've seen the last 2 years. It's like, it's gimmicky. It really is.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's got, I think the documentary too, it was a lot about personal issues too and stuff. And like you said, I'm not, like, I was also coming from that position where I'm not going to have a pity party for Aaron Rodgers right now. And it's like, not for nothing, you're doing great, dude. Like, you're having a great career. Like, you're successful in what you wanted to do in life, which was be a quarterback. The home life and whatnot. I mean, everyone has problems at home, obviously, and stuff like that. But so it's like, like, what do you want from me, dude? Like,
and with that, I mean, who knows? But I don't know. It just seems a little extreme, though. Like, to just completely just exile everybody. It's like, what, did they try to kill him?
What's
like,
that's so.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like that definitely didn't happen, dude.
It does. I mean, his family life does seem kind of crazy, but they seem like a pretty regular. I mean, I wouldn't say regular. I guess I could use the word regular, but like a hard hitting, religious family. Like they expect a lot, obviously. Whatever, dude. Like, any other fucking family. But anyway, Michael does like that. He cut his family off, and it's like, at this point, like, he should. Reconcile. But I mean, it doesn't really matter, honestly, dude. And if you really want to think about, too, the relationships, the women, dude, have they all ended? And it's like, oh, my God, Brian, if you watch the parts where he's, like, going on the ayahuasca retreats and shit, you would be, like, so over it. He's got some ugly, sticky, I wouldn't say ugly, I should say that, but, like, some sticky-looking woman on the plane with him going to, Costa Rica or whatever. And it's just like, oh, my God, dude. Doing fucking ayahuasca in the tent and talking about his journey, and it's like, dude, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you there.
And whatever you need to do, dude.
So just and the thing is too, he actually, prior to these last couple of years with the Jets, I always really loved watching him play. Honestly, I wanted to see him win again because I thought. What him and Devontae Adams did was unbelievable, their connection. But I was just tired of seeing them, come up short in the playoffs. That was the thing that really got me. And, when you look at it, I'm looking at his playoff game logs here. The last time he was in the playoffs was 2021. They lost 13-10 to San Francisco. So, that was a divisional game, disappointing. Also, the previous year when Tampa won the Super Bowl, they lost 31-26. That felt like a game that they should have won. You take it a step further. Another game against the Niners, 2019, they lose by 17. They also, back in 2017, when Atlanta went to the Super Bowl, they got blown out by 23. So there's just a lot of games that come up where it was just like, it seems like there was wasted seasons. And I have to say, I don't know, I guess short of like Dan Marino, where I've seen someone like so talented, like really struggle to win championships, because every sport is a team sport, but I feel like NFL has just always been so reliant on the quarterback.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. And it is tough, I suppose, but I mean, I think because, like, again, to piggyback off what you were saying, like watching him, play a few years ago. I mean, that's what, like, the documentary was good at showing that, dude. Like, I was hyped up watching. He obviously talked about his career in Green Bay and all his success and some great games and stuff like that. As Michael's coming up the door right now, next door. But I don't know. I mean, there is also still part of me that does think he could still perform at a high level.
But not win a Super Bowl, especially with the Jets of all teams. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to tell me he could go to San Francisco? Oh, they don't want to pay Purdy his $300 million contract. Like, sure, like I could see that, but not with the Jets and Woody Johnson and a coach who.
I agree.
Yeah, like so that's just where I'm at with that.
And I will say, in terms of the Packers, who's to blame and stuff like that. I mean, I understand it's not a great look at an organization, like Mike was saying, to have these two great quarterbacks and not have a lot of Super Bowl championships, wins to show for it. But I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, obviously, it's just hard to win in general.
It is hard to win.
But I mean, I will say, like, at this point, last year they were the youngest team in the league. Jordan Love. They're doing it again, seemingly with another great quarterback.
Green Bay is a class organization.
If they can't figure it out, though, like in the next 5 years,
they'll figure it out.
Like, I would say at this point, like, maybe something's going on.
But then also too, it's like we have to, like what you just said about how tough it is to win. It's like, oh, like, you know what I mean? You want to complain if you're a Packers fan. It's like, okay, you want to switch spots, with a Jets fan, with a Bengals fan, with a Browns fan. There is a hierarchy of things, and it does speak to how hard it is to win, like you just said.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, dude.
The model of consistency, that stuff matters.
And I mean, there's great quarterbacks in the league right now that haven't won or have barely won. You know, I mean, look at Allen, Jackson. I mean, those are great quarterbacks that you would think would be like dominating.
I feel like Allen's gonna the four falls of Buffalo. He's gonna solve it. I don't know if it's gonna be this year, but he's gonna win one. I just know it.
I mean, if you're a Buffalo fan, you've been through all of that. Like you got to be just like salivating.
Oh yeah,
at Josh Allen right now. I would be.
Yeah, and Matthew says, "Let's go." Crazy Favre is only one. Rodgers should have got more in Green Bay. And then Michael's talking about he 100% banged all of them. He can't keep it in his pants. What is he talking about?
Those chicks, dude. The chicks in the show.
Oh. The pity party was lame. Couldn't handle it. And then Kevdu says, boy. And then Matthew says, not trading for Judy because of the Madden thing is crazy. Even crazier was it the Suns' idea. Like, what? Yeah. And like I said, it just doesn't come to surprise to me, like, at all. Like 0%. Because it's interesting because I anyway haven't thought of, sure, sometimes people complain about like Hal and what he's doing, this and that, but I've never looked at, a team and been like, oh, they can't win because of the owner they have. But I think this is one of the examples where that really might be the case. And I think Washington went through the same thing with Dan Snyder, but Josh Harris is doing a good job there now. So it's really going to be fascinating to see how all of this, plays
snowing
out.
Out there, dude.
It's fake
Some
snowing?
snow. No, some real snow.
Oh, no.
Unless it is Mike from the next window over, like throwing some fake snow. But it looks like there's some snow out there.
I wouldn't put it past him. But anyway, we are overdue, Tony, to do a Week 16 frenzy.
Oh, boy, am I jacked up talking about the Jets right now, dude. I know Brian will be putting on his Rams hat this weekend. But let's get started around the National Football League here. 1 p.m. FOX. We're going to Atlanta, dude, as the Falcons, Brian, are taking on the New York Giants.
Saturday games, Tony.
Oh, my God. Fuck. Honestly, fuck Saturday games, by the way, dude. This is so fucking stupid. 1 o'clock on Saturday, dude. At Arrowhead. Great.
An Arrowhead, dude.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, the ankle. How healthy is he? What's going to happen? The Chiefs 13-1, undefeated at home. It's Arrowhead. We know, Brian. The Texans are coming in here. They're plus 3.5. The total is 42.5, Brian. Texans, we're a little bit of a up, but they're now 2 games in a row they've won. Jacksonville, Miami, obviously a test here. But what do you got, dude?
Yeah, it's interesting. The Chiefs had, not covered in all these games. They finally covered last week against Cleveland. The scare with Mahomes, the high ankle sprain. And, you look at this game, it's only a 3.5-point spread. The Texans, kind of jockeying for position in the AFC here, already clinching the division. Winners at 3 of 4, beating Miami, beating Jacksonville, and beating Dallas. But I think a step up in competition going against Kansas City. I don't see them winning, but I just think Mahomes banged up. I'm sure they'll rely on the run game, try to get Pacheco going. He's looked a little rusty since coming back from that injury. Maybe Kareem Hunt gets in the mix as well.
Hollywood Brown.
I would, Hollywood Brown. I would also like to see Xavier Worthy maybe do some end of rounds as well. So I think once again, because it's Kansas City, 3.5, that hook, Vegas put that in there. The people lazy to buy the 3. I think it comes into effect. And I think, again, it's Mahomes driving down the field, Chiefs winning, but just not covering. 20-17, Butker from 44 for the win. Chiefs winning but not covering, and the under.
Oh, Butka, huh? All right, let's go next game here. Still on Saturday, the 4:30 game. This is going to be a good one here. Steelers, the divisional rival here. Baltimore Ravens going to be at the Ravens here. Pittsburgh plus 6.5. We were talking about it. The TCA took, right? The Steelers plus 6.5. The total here is 44.5. Obviously, this is going to be a great game. We know the last time these two teams faced each other, 18-16, Baltimore wins, dude. The defense, the lack of the offense. This is like, to me, honestly, a pick 'em, dude. What do you got?
Yeah, I think unfortunately our friends over at the TCA are going to win this game just because it's the history of the rivalry. It's always a one-possession game, and I think it ends up being a field goal game. If George Pickens were in this game, I would like the Steelers to win. It's nice that they had the scare with TJ Watt. He's in. We talked about how bad he is when they're out. But I think a tight game, a defensive game, and I think at the end of the day, the Ravens end up winning 17-14. So I'm saying the Steelers with the plus 6.5 and the under. And I'm going to say Justin Tucker, a little redemption story, the game-winning kick in a rivalry game from 56, Tony.
Wow, dude. All right, there we go. An exciting game there for your Saturday slate. Let's move on down to Sunday, dude. 1 p.m. FOX. We're going to Atlanta as the Falcons take on the Giants here. Giants, the dumpster fire. Yes, Atlanta there at 7-7. Obviously still within the NFC South grasp there to take the division. Makes the ultimate decision here to start Michael Penix Jr., dude, over Kirk Cousins. Cousins says, I don't care, you're still paying me. But I got to say, new life over there in Atlanta?
Yes, Tony. I think Michael Penix in his first career start, 360 against a battered Giants defense. And I want to say Bijan Robinson, second consecutive 100-yard rushing game here as well. This one will not be close. We're going to see Drew Lock with pressure in his face all day. John Mara crying after the game as the Falcons blow out the Giants 35-7. Falcons in the under.
Next game here, another divisional rival going to the NFC North. The Lions, first place, taking on the last place Bears of the division. Detroit -7. Total is 47.5. Lions, the tough loss after the Buffalo Bills here. Bears at 4-10 are just sad here. Lions gonna make an example of the Bears?
It's interesting. The Lions have not played many outdoor games this year. Yes, no Montgomery. The defense in shambles, but it's Dan Campbell. I'm sure he's all jacked up after losing that game last week. Really wants to make a statement. So I think the Lions, maybe the Bears try to play him tough early. But give me the tough team, the tough coach over an interim coach and a quarterback that, even though he's a rookie, has not looked that tough this season. So I think we're going to see, Gibbs have a nice game on the ground, going back to their identity. I'm going to say 125 and 2 scores. Lions second half pulling away to win this one. I'm going to say 31-14. So we're going to go Lions and the under.
All right, what a game there. Next up, still 1 o'clock here. We're going to go to Cincinnati. The Bengals trying to keep any type of playoff hopes alive. Are we taking on the Browns here? Another divisional game, AFC North, and the AFC and the NFC, Brian. Browns obviously eliminated already at 3-11. The Bengals, like I said, have their destiny in hand here. 2-game win streak. Yes, I know the boys, the Titans, favorable schedule, no doubt here. Similar outcome against the Browns here?
Yeah, they're not going to cover the number, though, but the Bengals will keep those faint playoff hopes alive.
Very faint.
And I think Joe Burrow, continuing his run this season, will get over 4,000 yards and will get to 40 touchdowns on the year. Jamar Chase already at 1,400 yards receiving, 102 catches, 15 scores. But I'm going to say the Bengals will win this game 28-21. So we're going to go the Browns +9, and we are going to go with the over.
Love that there for our main man, Joe. Next game here, Indianapolis, the Colts. Anthony Richardson takes on the Titans of Tennessee here. This is pretty interesting. Indianapolis -3.5. A total is 42.5. A game we once maybe even considered. Brian said no because Richardson sucks, dude. Another one TCA grabbed. Titans 3-game losing streak. Colts are just, I think Richardson's just trying to prove himself at this point. What do you got for this one?
I don't think he's proving much. Will Levis bench for this game. They're going to go with Mason Rudolph, Tony Pollard closing in on another 1,000-yard rushing season. And I think that's the formula here. Smart throws with Rudolph. Pollard, I'm going to say 130 and 2 scores. Titans pulling the upset here. I'm going to say 21-14. Titans +3.5 and the under.
All right, next game here, another 1 o'clock time slot here. Brian's game of the day as the New York Jets here at JetLife Stadium taking on the LA Rams, dude. The Rams 8-6 here, the division in their grasp. Very interesting for the NFC West. They're tied with the Seahawks for 8-6. Obviously, the Jets aren't going anywhere this playoff season. So you know, whatever you want there. They come up with the win of Jacksonville. Rams, Brian, we know how does it happen.
Jets, hot start. Rodgers looking great. Can't wait for next year. 17-10 lead at the half. Shutout second half. Rams end up winning 31-17. So give me the Rams and the over.
Chalk there for the Rams. Let's see this next game. A divisional NFC powerhouse. 2 teams here. The Washington Commies at home taking on the Philadelphia Eagles here. Eagles 12-2, 6-1 on the road. Probably your best road record, I would imagine, here so far. Philly there, -3.5. Total is 45.5. Obviously, we know how good the Eagles are. Commanders had a little bit of a skid. Seemed to get a right spot here. You think Daniels has what it takes to make this a competitive game, dude?
Competitive, but not winning, and I think the Eagles cover as well. I think lower scoring than you would think. 45.5 is the number. But I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I'm going to say 24-17. So give me the Eagles -3.5 and the under.
And our next game here, go to Carolina, the Panthers, and their dumpster team at 3-11 taking on the Cardinals. You ask yourself, what are the Cardinals playing for? I guess they're still playing for the division here at 7-7 in that crazy NFC West. Panthers obviously playing for nothing. Cardinals, though, can't count on them, Brian. The spread here, -5 in favor of the Cardinals, 47.5 your total. What do you got?
Yes, definitely give me the Cardinals here. And again, you don't like counting on the Cards, but the Panthers, listen, I mean, Chuba Hubbard is nice, or Chuba. He's had 1,000 yards this year, 8 touchdowns. Bryce Young looks like he's growing under first-year head coach Dave Canales, but it's simple for the Cards. Let James Conner run wild against this Panthers rush defense. I think he goes for $160, Tony. 3 touchdowns. Kyler Murray, nothing crazy, but manages the game well. I think the Cards defense holds the Panthers offense at bay. And the Cardinals win easily here. I'm going to say 27-10. So give me the Cardinals -5 and the under.
All right, good take there. Love that. Next game, I'm interested to see what you choose here. We're going to go to Seattle. It's Lumen Field to start off our 4 o'clock time slot this weekend. The Seahawks taking on the Minnesota Vikings, dude. Vikings coming in here at 12-2. Their 5-1 road record. They're -3 in the spread. The total is 42.5. Seahawks, another team, part of the NFC West, obviously keeping their playoff hopes alive here. Should be pretty interesting to see what goes down in Seattle. What do you got?
Yeah, Geno Smith, I guess, will
Will
go
play,
in
right?
this
Yeah.
one. Banged up last week, the knee. Thrown for a lot of yards, but only 14 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Seeming to struggle to get the ball to DK Metcalf and some of his other fellow wide receivers. So hard for me, even though we are at Lumen Field, but the Seahawks are 3-5 this year. I can't back them. I think the Vikings look a lot better.
Yep.
Aaron Jones closing in on a 1,000-yard season. Sam Darnold having the season of his life, earning for that big payday.
Absolutely.
And I think the Vikings will win this one easily. I'm going to say 31-20. So we're going to go the Vikings -3 and the over.
Sam Darnold, a career year, dude. You know who else is having one? Josh Allen. The Bills are hosting the New England Patriots at 4:25 this Sunday. Bills undefeated at home. They're 11-3. And what you know what? The Patriots are 3-11. My goodness gracious. New England here, plus 14 on the spread. Gosh. Total is 46.5. Could be the Bills total in general here. Minus 1,400 on the money line. If you want to take a gander on the Bills, the Pats here, losers of 4 in a row. Obviously, Bills have only lost that game to the Rams in their last 5. So what do you got here?
If we thought Robert Kraft was barking last week in Arizona, I don't know if he's even making the trip to Orchard Park this week. This is an absolute bloodbath, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kraft wants to get a head start on the next coach and maybe fires him after the game, because this is going to be the ultimate embarrassment. Josh Allen, 6 total touchdowns again, second time this season. I'm going to say the Bills 49-10 over the Patriots. Bills and the over.
Great call there. Bills in the over, dude. Next game, let's go to Las Vegas, dude. This could be a little bit of a toilet bowl here at 4:25 p.m. as the Raiders are taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know the deal, the injury to the quarterbacks, what's going on, the losing seasons, the terrible teams. Jacksonville plus 1.5 on the spread. The total is 40.5. Will it reach that total, Brian? I don't know. You tell me. What do you got?
It is not going to reach that total. This is the ultimate toilet bowl. I know Cavs going, oh, my Raiders. Brock Bowers, great, though. Will be a stud. Jets still should have had him. Not going to let that go. But I think the Raiders, almost beat the Falcons, on Monday Night Football last week. They have found their match in this game, in the Jags. They are just as bad. So I guess I could see, the battle of field goals here and maybe a Mac Jones pick 6 to seal the game here for the Raiders. And I think the Raiders are going to win this game 16-9. So give me the Raiders and the under.
Wow, that's a tough game right there, dude. This next game, though, could be interesting. Still 4:25. We're going to Miami, dude, as the Dolphins take on the Niners. Both teams at 6-8. I guess trying to keep some type of a bad season to look somewhat good here. Miami, I guess, maybe could be the only team here that could be maybe in the wild card playoffs here. San Francisco could be on the outside looking in. Dolphins just lost to the Texans last week. Tough, but they have won 3 of the last 5 games. The Niners, I don't know what's going on there, but it seems like they can't fight their way out of a paper bag. Brian, how do you see this one coming out?
The prodigy versus the mentor, Mike McDaniel, an assistant under Kyle Shanahan.
Wow.
So I just think the Dolphins, I know they're at home, but big games against better teams. And yes, I know the Niners have the same record as them, but I think we all know Niners just a little banged up off season, but at the end of the day, they are a good football team. And I think we will see that on the field Sunday afternoon. So I think the Niners, and despite being down to maybe their 4th running back, put the ball in the hands of Brock Purdy. They get Debo and Kittle involved a lot. And I think the defense forces Tua to throw another couple interceptions. We're going to see the Niners win this game. I'm going to say 28-17. So we're going to go Niners +1 and just on the over.
Just on the over here. Curious to see your next outcome for this primetime game, 8:20 p.m. NBC. Let's go to Dallas as the boys here taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brian, The Bucks here at 8-6, Cowboys at 6-8. Tampa Bay comes here at -4. The total set at 48.5. The Bucks here, winners of 4 in a row, going on the run here. Cowboys, I suppose, are showing some type of prowess. Beating Carolina, beating the Giants, beating Washington. But nonetheless, dude, Tampa Bay looking to get on that run. What do you see here?
Yes, the run for Tampa Bay will continue. I'm going to say, maybe this is competitive early, but I think the Bucks pull away second half. Baker with another great game. I'm going to say 3 scores, maybe 325 through the air, and we're going to see the Bucks win this game. I'm going to say 27-13. So we're going to go Tampa Bay and the under. And just like that, that is your Week 16 NFL Frenzy. I think it is now appropriate where you can finally say, I can't believe it's Week 16. Is that not correct, Tony?
It is kind of correct here, dude. I know it's fantasy football coming to an end here.
Me and Josh B.
You and Josh B, dude. Josh B's going down.
Corporate
America, dude. And then now, before we know it, it's going to be the Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah, absolutely insane. If you had to, game of the week, what do you got?
If I had to pick a game of the week, that's very interesting. I know I've been doing the Bucks, but it's like maybe I should change it up. But I mean, not for nothing, dude.
Rico Dowdle?
Yeah, Rico Dowdle obviously has a lot to prove. Cooper Rush, say what you will. Give me the Bucks, dude. They've been great to watch. Certainly, we broke down their last game, obviously, and the throws that Baker makes, the catches by Evans, the running game. Irvin, dude.
Uncle Buck.
And then it's going to be, they set it up for you. It's Sunday night, prime time. How you not the most excited for this one? Let's go, dude. Horseshoe.
I was going to say,
what do you got?
Raiders Jags.
Stop it.
No, I'm going with the best rivalry in football, Steelers Ravens. I know the Steelers are a little banged up, but no matter what, no matter who the quarterbacks are, who's in, who's out, this game is always close. There's always passion. There's always intensity. It's like you're watching the UConn basketball team at the Garden. So yeah, looking forward to that one. 4:30 tomorrow afternoon on FOX. So
bang!
I'm excited to see that one, and excited to maybe clinch potentially the yearly pick segment against the TCA. So
how about that?
Let's see what happens. But let's also go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes! McDavid shoots! Top shelf! He scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle quick! It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, Rick Washington made the full split save!
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
All right. Boy, it seems like forever since we heard that Ranger goal song.
Oh,
I'm not going to lie. I miss those days, scores, all of that stuff. But listen, an opportunity tonight, and I actually hadn't got to talk to you about it on the show anyway, about the Kako trade. I know we had talked about it in the chat. What was your thoughts? The 2 draft picks, Borgen, the defenseman. Did you like the deal? What were your thoughts there, Tony?
You never really like the deal, dude.
I saw you like the post about when Kako first got to New York, but you're really sentimental about him. I feel like
yes, dude.
But hold on, the floor will be yours after this. But this is almost like with Rodgers. Why am I gonna feel bad for a guy that was taken 2nd overall and was a complete bust and was here for what, 5 years?
Yeah, 6.
6 years.
This was his 6th.
And just didn't even come close. Wasn't even worth a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, let alone the 2nd overall pick. Why is there empathy there, Tony? Could you please explain that to me?
Why is there empathy there? Because it's obviously
Seems like
you
Zach
never.
Wilson-itis.
No. You obviously draft this guy, 2nd overall pick. And obviously, yes, you can't say that he didn't underperform. That's what he did, dude.
Literally.
But nonetheless, you've listened to me over the past 2 seasons talk about him and the bright spots that he did have, the unfortunate injuries he had to deal with. And it just seems like that he is another victim of a mishandled youth that could be developed in the organization. I mean, you talk about the Jets or the Packers, excuse me, not developing, youthful talent. I mean, it's not.
Though. And also, the Packers are. I'm just saying, the Packers are one of the gold standard organizations in the league. To say like they have a problem developing is ridiculous. The Packers are a great organization.
Okay.
But I'm saying in this, it's like, what do the Rangers have to do with Kako sucking? Like, it's not the Rangers' fault. Are you kidding me? He would be like a little better if he was actually any good. He's been like not even playable, basically, Tony.
Well, I mean, I think that I don't know. I mean, I think if you look at the past few like high draft picks, I mean, look at even Lafreniere. I mean, it took him a while to get acclimated.
Did it, and Capo did it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that he did do it yet, though. He hasn't been.
He's been pretty good. Last year what did he have? 30-something goals. I mean, that's a pretty good year.
Yes, no, it is. It is, but he's not living up to being such a high draft pick as he was.
But he's getting there.
Exactly. Yes. But that's where I disagree, though. I don't think Kako is nowhere near there, dude. And again, I mean, with all the nonsense that is coming out of the locker room and the media, surrounding the Rangers, I mean, it just seems that trading him away, seems like it won't solve anything still, In terms of the actual trade, though, Brian, I do like the defenseman we got. I mean, it seems like that he is a true defenseman, to be honest. I mean, a couple years you've had with Seattle, I mean, he was getting 200 hits, 150 block shots for the year. Someone who can help you defensively, which is great for us. But yeah, it does suck to see Kako go, and you get a couple draft picks, which is fine. It is going to be interesting to see. I think both Kako and I think that the both are going to be free agents next year. So who knows who's staying where and why necessarily, and for what or how much. So I don't know. I mean, obviously it just seems like that trade wasn't honestly the best value I think you could get for Kako, in my opinion. And obviously, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Drury made that move, seemingly because I'm sure he's feeling a lot of heat for his job, and to make, substantial moves. It just seems like it was another throwaway trade, and that isn't going to necessarily help the team that much. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel, to be honest, about it.
What about? I thought we needed another defenseman.
We do. We definitely do.
Yeah.
Get
2 draft picks.
And it's like,
help this year.
no, yeah, it doesn't. But I mean, and it's interesting because you're seeing like Ruido get brought up and stuff, and Drury trying different defensive pairings with some minor league guys. So you wonder, where he's going to fit in. But regardless, you would anticipate better defensive play. But again, I mean, this isn't gonna like solve problems. I'm looking at this trade, and yeah, it sucks to see him go. It's a failure. That's what that represents. So obviously you're not happy about it. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so much confusion going on, dude. I was talking about just trying to dial into like some of the reporters' feeds yesterday about players talking about obviously Kako's trade, and for the most part, I mean, I haven't had the same sentiment where it does suck to see him go. But at the same day, it's like this team has to get better, and Drury's doing what he can to make this team better. So, and I told you what Trochex 2 said about the players only meeting not being about the GM and stuff like that. It's just there's so much like, and again, I mean, it's a players only meeting, so obviously like they're not going to talk about necessarily what they spoke about, at least not until a decision has been made or there's been a significant move made. It's a players only meeting. It's closed doors, rightfully so. I mean, they're going through something that's really, really tough, and there's a lot of pressure on them. So they got to try and figure it out on their own, seemingly. But then it's like, I'm seeing like videos of their practice yesterday where like, I don't know if you saw this, but like Laviolette was taking like reps at shootouts. And they're all having a great time and smiles. And
what a great time. I can't wait till they lose 6-0.
Well, I'm saying that, but I'm like that. Time. I mean, that's like, like we talk about locker room problems. Like it seems like that they're doing well. It's a great moment that, a team can share during practice. Laviolette, the coach, a lot's been in question in terms of who, like what coaches, what players think of him. It's really crazy, honestly, how much like, especially now in such a time of struggle, like I'm going on my Twitter feed and then how much just like discord there is about, Drury, about Laviolette, about the players in general, and who's to blame necessarily. And it's so tough for me to sit here and to be like, yeah, like I can put one guy's name on it. Like it wasn't too long ago where we were sitting here and like Trouba's the fucking problem. We get rid of him, it'll all be good. And here we are, Trouba less and also win less? You know, like
But,
what?
but
Like
the,
you know,
the thing though was Trouba was one of the problems. The problem has existed a long time ago where they need, like we say, that dog. Like when you need a goal, you get a goal. Like we've needed that guy for years. Like,
yeah, but I
that's
don't
been
think
the main
that
problem.
this doesn't seem like it has much to do with the play on the ice. Am I
I mean,
wrong?
you can't score against Nashville. I mean, you don't think, like, I don't know, having like a superstar in that
I
situation.
understand
maybe you
the
would've scored.
outcomes aren't
Maybe,
there,
Maybe
but
you would have
don't-
scored one against the Blackhawks. Maybe. I
Don't you
know.
think that is not because of the talent, on the lack of talent?
Yes, I think
you're talking about Brian. You're talking about the Blackhawks. You're talking about the Predators, teams that last year with the same roster we have, we'd be rolling over. Like the fact that it is the same roster, the fact that we're way worse this year, that doesn't tell me it's the team. It's not. We're not
So
having
it
that
has
dog.
nothing to do with like the guys being a year older and maybe their skills are diminishing. That has nothing to do with it.
You're
That's not-
going to tell me that a team can go from winning the President's Trophy to being this fucking bad because of 1 year of age. It's
all
not what that
teams,
is.
though, have a cap of where they go, and
Oh,
then
absolutely.
things change.
You're
I'm saying
absolutely right.
That was clearly the pinnacle because you're getting
Yeah,
away.
but you don't get pinnacle and then just significant drop off and just everyone's a year older. This isn't football, all right? This is hockey. There are old players who have long-standing careers and who don't really diminish. And even if they do diminish, it's not like, okay, like Steven Stamkos has lost a few ticks on a slap shot. It's not like we're going to lose 100 games or we're going to lose every game. Like it's a
why-
team sport.
But is it not a coincidence though that all the guys that were great as they get older, typically they, no matter what sport we're talking about, they don't win championships.
No, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, you still have to look at the entire moment here. I mean, this isn't like a normal situation. Like I said, this isn't like a football where it's like, oh, like Aaron Rodgers just doesn't have it now. That's his. It's like if whoever you want to pick, if Mika Zibanejad is a year too old for this team, like you still have several other players who are talented. You're not telling me that everyone on this roster got 1 year older and is now bad. Like there's something more to this.
I don't know. I think we've seen signs with Mika, especially going back a couple of years, where he was really good a couple of years ago, and the signs were there. He's diminishing. He can't do the extra thing, like you like to say, Tony, the nitty gritty to score goals. He doesn't have that in him anymore. And I've said this years ago. This team with just that one guy, you don't take anybody away, but you add one guy to this team, they're an amazing team, but they're short in that regard. You can't have, all second options leading your team. You're not going to win anything.
I mean, you can add any guy you want to this team. I don't care. You can pick anyone you want in the history of hockey if you want, dude. In their prime, I'm telling you, they're not going to win a cup if they bring in one guy.
Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid, okay? A man who's never won a cup before, by the way. You think will come in here and it'll be all copacetic, they win a Stanley Cup. That's not going to happen, dude.
Also, though, it's a leadership thing. And certain
Sure.
players are leaders. Connor McDavid is the leader.
Sure,
That's why he was
absolutely,
in Game 7 of
dude.
the Stanley Cup Finals last
You're
year.
absolutely right. You're
wasn't
absolutely
playing
right.
golf
But
in
you're not
Boca
going
Raton,
to tell me that Connor McDavid's going to come in here and everyone's just going to adopt to him and they're going to win a cup. Like,
Well, you need a leader.
it's not
You
going to
gotta
happen,
start
dude. It's not going to
somewhere.
happen. And you want to talk about dogs on the team? No one has more offensive dogs than the Edmonton Oilers, and they still don't have a cup.
But you're
So
saying
what
they
are we
still don't have
talking
a
about?
Cup, but it's like, do you not want to trade places with them? I mean, it seems like they had a pretty good year last year. Would we rather have just been at home like we were instead of playing in the Stanley Cup final?
Sure.
But
But what are we talking about right now? Like, what are we talking? I'm trying to fix a locker room
because
issue
that's why
on
they
the
haven't
Rangers.
Been
Like,
to the Stanley Cup Finals in over 10 years is because they don't have the right.
that's not
leader.
why.
You think
That's
they do?
not why.
Who's the right leader then?
Oh, well, right leader? I mean, they don't have a leader. Obviously, there's no
So
captain.
the leadership doesn't matter. But I'm saying
course it
Trouba
does,
wasn't the
dude.
right leader.
Right.
And they didn't have a leader before that. So that's why.
Not necessarily. I mean, McDonough was a great captain. So was Ryan Callahan when I was growing up. They were great captains, and they didn't win a cup. Like, you don't. Again, it's not one fucking guy comes in here and everything's great. Like, this isn't football. I don't know how many times I've said it. Like, it's a team sport.
But if you were to get rid of specifically Mika, he just strikes me as like the biggest dead weight on the whole entire team. And honestly, I have to say, I've always been a fan of him, but it does seem like Kreider, doesn't have the same like pop in his step that he's had the last couple of years. So those are two guys that I think are paid very well and not producing. So if you could get them out of there and get someone that's very talented in there with these young guys, Will Cooley's been playing great. Adam Fox hasn't had a terrible season. Berard looks like he has some potential. I think Vinny T, with the right group around him, is a really good player. So if you take out the dead weights here that are costing us these games, everything will change. That's the problem. You have guys that are dogging it, Tony, and it doesn't matter, like you said, who's on the team. When people are dogging it, you're not going to win anything.
No, I mean, I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. And it's just frustrating. It's just an embarrassment right now. And you just feel ashamed, as a Ranger fan. And it's just like, do you know when the trade deadline is? I mean, are we still talking like 2 months away, 6 weeks away?
I don't know why I think April. I don't know, dude. There's no way it's that way. February?
It's got to be in February.
March.
Okay.
7th.
I mean, dude, we cannot wait till the trade deadline, though. We're going to be 15
You're not
games
gonna.
under
I mean,
500.
you're not. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, obviously, Drew's already made 2 trades already. So I mean, but the fact of the matter lies. I mean, they just like. I mean, not for nothing, dude. Like these guys are still have to solve something themselves right now in the locker room. Like they like making a big trade in the next. I don't know, until the end of January or not. Like the Rangers still have to find out a way to beat teams.
I just think of Mika and Kreider. I think make a statement, make them scratches tonight.
Again, but it's just so unsettling to me when I'm hearing, like, obviously, I mean, say what you will, these guys are getting, traded away. So obviously it's emotional, whatever. But the way Trouba talks about his deal being handled, same thing with Kakko, right? I mean,
but why are they butthurt? Because they sucked and they're tight that they were traded. And that's their fault. And they need to be held accountable for that, just like Mika and the way Kreider's been playing.
Absolutely. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. But again, I mean, think about what we've been talking about the past couple weeks about Laviolette on the hot seat. Maybe he's too much of a stubborn guy to be able to work with younger players. Same thing with Chris Drury. I mean, is it not unsettling to hear about the players only meeting, calling for Drury's job, and then now yesterday we're hearing them quoted the exact opposite of that? Like, is that not worrisome of something bigger?
No, I was
that's
actually
wrong?
just going to ask you if you were disappointed in Vinny T lying through his teeth. I mean, I know protect the team, this and that, but why not just say no comment?
I don't know. Well, because no comment would be like, oh, they fucking talked about it,
Yeah.
So I guess I understand that protect the team, but it's just like, again, you want to take a step back and look at the talent that the Rangers have developed in the past, 8 to 10 years, the amount of coaching changes they've had in the past decade. I mean, it's not like that's not how you win. I mean, again, like coaching changes in hockey is different too, but still, I mean, every team has to develop talent. They haven't been doing that, dude. And then the nonsense that goes even deeper with the fucking rules they've made with players interacting with other personnel on the team. Apparently there was incidences last year with social media teams and like some PT, like one of the head lead athletic trainers was fired because he had dinner with a player or something. And then like now players can't stay at hotels with other personnel of the Rangers or of MSG even, which is why like hearing reports of that absolute nonsense is just like, what the fuck are we doing, dude?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Get Drury out of there, I mean, it's clear, like, you know what I mean? It's like, is it not a waste of time, though, just keeping him right now? I understand, like,
Drury?
you got to trade players. But if he's not going to be the GM, why is he still the GM?
But that's what I mean. It seems like that he is going to be the GM. I mean, you don't
really
like,
think so,
we don't sit here and say Drury should be fired, and then 2 days later he trades Kakko. Like, that's like, why would, if you're an owner of a team and you're thinking about like firing your GM, why would you allow him to make another trade?
I mean, I think with Kakko, for instance, you're telling me Dolan's not pissed? I mean, obviously he was like, get that guy the hell out of here.
Dolan's like a fucking bigger asshole than Woody Johnson, dude. Like, honestly.
I don't know about that. At least the Rangers, besides this year.
No. I don't want to hear that he was responsible for the turnaround. First of all, he was the owner of the team when they had the longest playoff drought, okay?
But they don't right now.
They obviously
and the
don't
Knicks
right
are
now.
Obviously a lot better than they were a few years ago. So I'm just saying it's completely different.
I mean, I suppose so. But regardless, he's still a fucking Chief, dude.
Yeah, but I just hope that he makes the right chief decision here and gets rid of Drury because it's just I don't
know.
But you know what I mean. But so then if it's I don't know, then what is it? You know what I mean? So then what's
the
the alternative?
No, I'm telling you, I think Drury's gonna stay. Like it's that was my opinion.
But that's not what you want. You want him to be fired.
I really don't know. Because, again, I mean, if I'm sitting here and the players are like, yeah, like Drury's just mishandling this team, I would say Drury's, I don't know, I mean, this is like his 4th year as GM maybe, I think, right? 4th year? Let's say it's his 5th year. Regardless, he hasn't, I guess, been a GM like that long, and there has been the significant rebuild. He's made great moves. So I mean, listen, I can sit here and talk about how bad it is right now, but in reality, like, he's made good strides for the Rangers. So it's like, yeah, think about that, and I'm like, kind of uncertain. But again, like, if players are calling for his job, I mean, how do I not side with the players? But if they're not, and they're like, yeah, Drury's just doing his job, then that's great. Then let's keep that.
Yeah,
you know,
but they're definitely.
But it is unsettling too. I mean, if it is a cover up, then yeah, fire him. It is unsettling that they can't develop talent. That you kind of have two, like, top 2 draft picks, and they're kind of not living up to the hype. To be honest, dude.
Yeah, I think though it's clear that Lafreniere is though. He's still.
I don't
young.
think it's clear. And I mean, look at like certain players. You look at Celebrini, even Bedard too. They're having great years right now, like on rosters that are far less good than what the Rangers are supposedly having right now. And I mean, they're also younger. They're the first, second year in the league here, and they're already making those impacts. Lafreniere, it has not really. And yes, he is starting to, and I love him, and I love the way he's playing, and I hope he continues his success and continues to be a Ranger. I certainly do. But I mean, facts are facts. I wanted Kakko to stay and continue to be successful, or to start to be successful. But I mean, facts were facts, and they ended up trading him. So, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I think at the end of the day, the Rangers have a tough time developing talent. I mean, who on their roster? I mean, you have Fox. You know, you have, obviously,
Igor.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, but like Kreider is really the only one who's withstood some test of time here. You would anticipate Fox will, Lafreniere probably will, but goaltenders aside, we obviously have no problem developing goaltenders.
Obviously,
disappointment, dude. I mean, like, you have some dogs there, but again, like, your long-term developed guy has only been Chris Kreider in like the past decade.
Yeah, no, development is key.
Everyone else has been moved.
Speaking to why, I think let's just get a hockey guy in there that has a track record and that will have the wherewithal to turn this thing around. And I think, it's obvious too, new GM, new coach, and it's like, that's what needs to happen. And I just hope that there's just not inaction here, and there's not just some minor trades, like getting rid of like Brendan Schneider or something. Like, let's get Mika out of here. Like, if Kreider wants to stay, I guess, but it's like, can he just step up? Like, I feel like he's got his head up his ass as well.
I think yesterday, and again, say what you will about this, but I think yesterday's practice, Panarin green non-contact jersey. So I don't know if, again, you can say what you will. It could be just injury, banged up.
He had been injured before.
Last
game. Yeah. So,
but also, sometimes people get traded.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like, just show up tonight. Just at least don't get embarrassed. I mean, that would be nice, like, just to start,
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, Dallas, obviously a really good team, and, things are going well for them. I wouldn't say right now, just looking at, the light amount of Dallas Stars games that I've seen. So you really, like you said, you really got to show up. I mean, you said yesterday or 2 days ago, they don't have an easy schedule coming up, dude.
Brutal.
It is really brutal.
Hopefully they will do something. But let's find out in a Friday night Frozen Frenzy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, big Friday slate. Is it? I'm not sure. It's
5,
sizable.
right? 6?
No. There's like 8 games, maybe.
7.
7 games. 6 games. 7 games. 7 games
6
here.
6 games. 5 games.
7. Lucky number 7 here on this nice Friday, dude. Start off at 7 p.m. In Buffalo. The Sabres, losers of 10 in a row, I want to say. I have to double check that. I hate 11 in a row. Looking for number 12 here. The Toronto Maple Leafs coming to Buffalo, minus 155. The over-under, 6.5. Stolarz hurt. Yes, on the IR. Woll had a great start the other night, too. He's been doing well in their win against Dallas. You think just Maple Leafs kind of keep it going, winners before the last 5. Buffalo is schneid right now.
6-1, Maple Leafs in the over. It's not even a question. Maybe Lindley Ruff's seat getting a little warm there in Buffalo.
Yeah, I think so, dude. I would say 6-1's a good call, honestly. I would say Maple Leafs and the over, chalk it up right there. Speaking of Toronto and Canada, let's go now to Detroit, where the Canadiens will be visiting the Red Wings here, 13-14-4. They're having kind of a tough thing, too. Heard about potentially Larkin wanting the trade. Talbot getting a little banged up there. Nonetheless, they're winners of 2 in a row. They beat the Flyers. They beat Toronto. Canadiens, who just beat Buffalo. They beat them 6-1. They're coming in here plus 135, over under 6.5. What do you got?
Always go with the Canadiens, dude. I feel like they're one of my favorite teams under 500. Suzuki, Caulfield, Montembeault. Detroit, I feel like, talk about failing to develop, Tony. They failed to take the next step forward the last couple of years. So give me the Canadiens. I think Montembeault, vintage Patrick Waugh, 37 of 39, 3-2 Canadiens in the under.
They're your favorite team because you like saying Canadiens and Montembeault and Suzuki and Caulfield. The Red Wings, why not? Dude, at home here at -155, why not? Lucas Raymond, hat trick. Montembeault, not happy about it. Red Wings go on to win their 3rd game in a row. Next game here, chugging along, the Florida Panthers, a team everyone wants to be at 20-11-2, taking on the St. Louis Blues in Sunrise, Florida here. We know the deal about the Blues. That's why they're coming in here at plus 250 on the money line. The over-under is 5.5, dude. Panthers, they've won 3 of their last 5 games. Little skid up in Canada, but nonetheless, they have brought it back by beating Edmonton 6-5, beating Minnesota 6-1, dude. Do they have what it takes to absolutely pummel the St. Louis Blues?
Yeah, I think they'll be singing the Blues after this one. I think this is another 6-1. I think far better. Blues, farting around 500 all season.
Farting.
I think that we'll see a Kachuk, who had 2 goals the other night, have the hat trick just for Josh B. So I'm going to say 6-1 Panthers in the over.
Next game. Oh, sorry, I gotta take my pick here, but I mean that's basically Panthers in the over. Like, let's come on, dude. Next game could be honestly pick about. Oh, really? This is the game of the night.
Hurricanes Capitals, yeah.
Wow, dude. Let's go to Washington Capitals, 21-8-2, facing the 20-10-1 Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina -140 coming in here. Total is 5.5. I know you're thinking, wow, Washington with the way they're playing, they're plus 120. I could take them. I don't know about this one. Back in early November, Hurricanes took care of business against the Capitals, won 4-2. Hurricanes humming, 2-game win streak right now, just shut out the Islanders. Capitals could be maybe seeing some of the effects of without Ovechkin. Back-to-back losses here for the first time in a while to Chicago and Dallas. You think maybe a little turn here for the Capitals?
Yeah, give me the Hurricanes. I think 3 in a row for the Capitals. Kochekov, not a shutout, Allen, but I think he'll have a nice game, maybe 31 of 33 in net. And I think it's going to be Hurricanes 4-2. So Hurricanes and the under.
All right, dude. I guess I would. God, the under probably sounds about right. Give me the Hurricanes and the under there. Tenders for both teams have been good. Next game could be good or bad. Let's go to Dallas here. 8 p.m. as the Stars are taking on the New York Rangers. New York plus 155. Thank you, Michael. Over under is 5.5, Michael. First time these two teams are facing each other. Could be not a good time to face the Dallas Stars. They're winners of 3 of their last 5, and they're looking pretty good, and they're 13-4 at home. Brian, what do you got?
Tough times, I think, continuing here for the Rangers, and hopefully that means change is imminent, Tony. Because let me tell you, I am sick of it. But I think this is a Stars in the over game. Dallas minus 185 here. I'm going to say 5-1. Another embarrassing loss to the Rangers, as much as I hate to say it.
I hate to say it too, but I'm picking the Rangers. Why not, dude? I mean, I think a lot has been said the past couple days. Hopefully they've been listening to the show and getting pissed off at Brian, dude. Getting amped up, dude.
It's my fault.
I think maybe an uptick in offensive production here tonight. And I think from everybody, like literally, I'm talking 5-6 different goal scorers. Trocheck, Panarin, Fox. Why not, dude? Rangers winning this game. We're saying 6-2. Stars probably toughest loss of the season. They go on to lose 5 in a row after this loss. That's how bad it was. Rangers and the over. Next game still 8 p.m. Minnesota Wild take on the Utah Hockey Club, Brian. It's the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Minnesota minus 130. Over under is 5.5. They beat the Utah Hockey Club 5-4 earlier this month. I'm pretty sure you picked Utah then. Will you pick them again?
No, Wild coming off that loss, the embarrassing loss to the Panthers. They bounced back. Tight game. But I'm going to say Wild win this one 4-3 in overtime. Kaprizov, the game winner. Wild and the over.
I love the call on the Wild and the over here. Wild lost 2 in a row. They're going to be angry. Hockey Club over here due for a loss, even though they've been hot. So let's go, Wild in the over. Why not? Next game here. Last game, 10 p.m. Anaheim. The Ducks and Jacob Trouba will be taking on the Colorado Avalanche here. Colorado's minus 225. A lot of value. I guess it's plus 190 for Anaheim here. The Avs beat this team in overtime back in October, 4-3. But the Ducks here, 2-game win streak beating Columbus and, wait for it, Winnipeg as well. Are the Ducks heating up, and is Colorado in trouble tonight, Brian?
Yeah, I love what the Ducks are doing, but this is a bounce-back spot for Colorado. I think it's a tough, tight game, but I think Colorado ultimately ends up winning 5-4 in regulation. And I'm going to say Cale Makar, the go-ahead goal with 21 seconds remaining. Avalanche in the over.
I think the Ducks could be experiencing an avalanche of goals against them. Nathan McKinnon, 4 goals, dude. Colorado goes on to win this game 6-1. Avs and the over.
Just like that. That is your Friday Frozen Frenzy. Hoping the Rangers surprise me tonight. That's for sure.
Me too, dude.
And a couple quick mentions on the way out. Tonight is a historic night, the first game of the current rendition of the college football playoff. 12 teams, and we get started. The battle of the Hoosier State. Notre Dame hosting Indiana. Both teams 11-1. Notre Dame number 7, Indiana number 10. And Notre Dame comes into this game minus 6.5. Only lost to Miami, Ohio earlier this year. In Indiana, their only loss of the season a few weeks ago against the Ohio State University. It's interesting because these big moments, you're used to Notre Dame not stepping up, not being able to match up. But I think against Indiana, a team that hasn't been here before, it would be a great story for them to win. But I think ultimately it will be too much. I think Notre Dame Stadium will be rocking. And you see the total here at 50.5. I think we go under that. But Notre Dame, I'm going to say, is going to win this game. Let's say 24-14. So we're going to go Notre Dame and the under for the first college football playoff game of the season. Do you agree with the call on the Fighting Irish, Tony?
No, Indiana, 35-7, dude.
35-7.
Over. Gone.
Oh, my God. So
gone,
under,
dude.
though. The under.
The under.
But it's
yes,
over.
but it's over for them, dude. Hit the books.
And then a quick turnaround, 12 o'clock tomorrow. The Penn State University hosting Southern Methodist. So both teams not familiar with the college football playoff. There's been the talk about Franklin, these big games. They're not a top 5 team or a top 10. They come in at number 11 and 11-2. Penn State number 6, also 11-2. I have a hard time thinking Penn State is going to lose this game. Again, SMU, the school coming in, not used to this situation. And I know, like I said, Penn State hasn't really been there, but obviously more nostalgia, history. And I think this is a big win for James Franklin. This game total set at 52.5. I'm going to say Penn State 31-17. Allard 2 touchdowns, and they run for 200 yards. Penn State in the under. What do you think?
I would say Penn State and the over here, honestly. I think it's Aller. It is Aller. True Aller. I think he throws for 4 touchdowns, honestly, dude. I think he's going to go absolutely off. I liked him. What was the last bowl game they've just played? Was it a bowl game?
No.
No,
It was
Penn
the Big
State.
Ten championship against Oregon.
Oregon,
they
dude.
lost, nail
But
biter.
He was
Played
great.
well.
Played very well. Revenge spot. anger, touchdowns, all of it. Penn State in the over.
4 o'clock, TNT Max, the Longhorns at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium, a place that I once visited in Austin, hosting Clemson, Texas 11-2, number 5, Clemson 10-3, number 12, spread at 12, and Clemson does boast the top total quarterback touchdown leader here in Cade Klubnik, and through the air, 33 of them, 7 on the ground, also throwing for 3,300 yards and only 5 interceptions. We know about Texas, Arch Manning, the running packages, Ewers kind of struggling, but obviously 11-2. Disappointing loss to Georgia in the SEC title game. I think Texas wins, but doesn't cover. And I think this is an under game as well. I'm going to say Texas will win this game 24-21. So Clemson on the plus 12 and the under. What's your thoughts here, Tony?
DKR Texas Memorial Stadium, huh, dude?
Rocking.
A stadium that I once visited as well, dude.
There we go.
Yeah, I think Longhorns love the under call.
Cover the number, though?
I say cover.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I say 27-10.
27-10.
Bang.
Okay.
McConaughey on the sideline.
McConaughey on the sidelines. And then a big game for Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. Obviously, the losses to Michigan stacking up, and he's been there. This is his 5th year. Of course, hasn't won a national title. Facing a team in Tennessee with the same record, but obviously the feeling here, Ohio State a lot more talent, but Tennessee does have Sampson, the running back, almost 1,500 yards on the ground, 22 touchdowns, while Ohio State has Will Howard at quarterback transferring in this year for his senior year, 27 touchdowns, 8 picks, and just kind of talent all over the football field. So I think Ohio State gets it done. 7.5 isn't too crazy, so I think they win this game. I'm going to say Ohio State in the over, 31-21. What do you think?
Go Buckeyes over. What the hell? Tennessee Volunteers?
Yeah. What's that?
Like a volunteer. Like I volunteer at the soup kitchen?
I guess. They call them the Vols, too. I don't know.
Yeah, I call them, I don't know, shit.
Shitler. I mean, give me a score or something, Tony, no?
You want a little score
Or
here?
Shitler.
For the Tennessee Shitlers, I say they score 14, Buckeyes 34.
Okay.
There you go.
Last
Bang.
thing before we close out this
Or Shitler.
marathon once again.
Bowl
I would
games.
say longest combined hours of show in 1 week this week, honestly.
Oh, you think so? Yeah,
pushing 2 hours.
I mean, you've been hot on the bowl games here
bowl
for football,
games,
dude.
the basketball, which is the last thing I wanted to mention. You can 12 o'clock on Peacock tomorrow, Tony. Their second Big East game, Hinkle Fieldhouse.
You can.
Indianapolis, Indiana. Michael Butka, edge of his seat, jumping up and down, talking Hurley, talking Instagram. And I think on ESPN, actually, they don't even have a number up on this game. But I want to say, Thad Matta, who's the former Ohio State
For
coach.
a total?
No, I was just going to say, no, but that's not UConn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
this is
saw
for
the
tomorrow. That's why. But anyway, I think this is a blowout, honestly. I think they're far better. Butler, 7-5, lost their conference opener. Obviously, UConn won in overtime the other night. But I'm going to say decisive. We're going to go 82 to 65. So UConn winning by 17. Butka riled. Maybe a Caravan triple-double, Michael. Do you think it's a blowout at Hinkle Fieldhouse, Tony?
Yeah, dude. I mean, seems like this matchup is pretty, swayed significantly in terms of the UConn Huskies here. So, I mean, you're probably looking at a 90-point game by them, I would imagine, right? 95-65.
UConn in a
In a landslide, dude. So exciting.
Last thing, you were mentioning Binge Buddies before. Is that following the show?
Yeah, 12:30.
12:30. Okay. Sophia, what do we got?
No, so fire, dude. We're gonna be breaking down in great depth the new Superman trailer, dude. I don't know
Okay,
if you
heard
had
it came
eyes on
out.
it, dude. Came out
Didn't see it.
yesterday.
Yep.
A lot of reports, and of course, the on-scene photos as well of the production. What do we got going on, dude? The costumes, the acting. We'll be breaking that down as well as some hot rapid-fire news for you, some VHS pickups as well. So, give me a nice little Friday. A lot of good releases out there this weekend too, dude. We'll be talking about. So,
Yeah.
a lot of action in the theater.
Stay tuned. High noon 30. But here we are, another great week of shows as we finish up in a flurry with the snow coming down outside, Tony.
Oh,
Little
it's heavier
crazy.
now, dude. Let's fucking go.
Tony loves it.
It's gonna be a white Christmas.
But once again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jane. Cost of the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy Binge Buddies. Let's go Rangers! And we will see you on Sunday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.